Does Nanjing have a particular dish that they specialize in?
Yeah, they have a bunch of different dishes that they specialize in. So they're duck. So they have a salty duck. No, yeah, sure, yeah, is a saltwater duck they have, and that's pretty famous. I think it's pretty good. But there's a lot of different duck dishes that they have. So there's like duck neck and duck head, and these different things. Yeah, so I like the duck neck, the duck head. No, I'm not really into that one. But they have a lot of different dishes there to that you can get in the tourist areas or in certain restaurants. It's part of the Huayang Cai, so the like Huayang style Chinese food. There's several different styles of Chinese food within China, and that's like the big umbrella over Nanjing and that area. So it's not super spicy usually. Can be, but it's not like spicy all the time, you know? Yeah, it's I don't know how to describe it, but they have their own things there.
I mean,
And then they have
internationally,
I was going to say, then they have the other styles of Chinese food there too. I mean, like if you like Sichuan style, Szechuan, we call it in English, like they'll have that in Nanjing too. They'll have food from all over China, and they'll have food from other places in the world too.
Okay, so like anywhere you go in China, would you be able to find some dish from all of the umbrellas, but they have a one that they specialize in that would be like the best from where it's from?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't get all the stuff. Like, okay, so like if you really want to get the authentic style of a certain place, you go to that place, right? But on the other hand, there's going to be those styles of food are going to be spread all over in China, and there's going to be certain types of Chinese restaurants that have those food in all the big cities.
Yeah, like internationally speaking, everybody knows Chinese food, right? Like even places that have not a lot of diversity will have a Chinese restaurant, right? It seems like it's internationally very well accepted. There's also a stereotype internationally that Chinese people will eat things that the rest of the world doesn't want to eat. Is that true in your experience?
Not all the time. I mean, I just made a video recently with me eating duck head and some other things, and I posted it online in Chinese, and there's a lot of comments on there from other Chinese people saying like, yeah, I don't want the duck head. That's gross. But
Too much.
yeah, they don't like it, but some people do. And they will have foods that, okay, I'll give you an example. Like I had a family member had a big party for, I think it was like his 20th birthday or something, and we all went, and one of the dishes that they had was snake. And snake is not something that they usually eat. It was just like a special dish for this occasion. And I had some of the snake, and I thought it was all right. I could eat it. It was edible for me. Most of them didn't want any of it, or they just tried a little bit and didn't have any more. And I was the one that took all the steak. I keep saying steak.
Steak.
I was the one that took all the snake leftovers back home, like 4 boxes of leftovers home. And I ate that for the next week for like lunch and supper. I ate all the snake. And it's fine. It's not really an unusual meat. It's okay. It's just kind of weird. Like it looks weird, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's even weird for a lot of Chinese people is what you're saying. They were a little bit unsure about if they wanted to try it or not.
But they have like a huge variety of food there. It's just, and they're really into it. Like big restaurants. They present the food carefully. The service in those restaurants is usually quite good. I mean, in a tiny little restaurant, maybe it's not. It's just, they just like give you your food and that's it. But if you go to a big restaurant, like the server will pay a lot of attention to you. They'll help you order the whole thing, right? It's not like here in Edmonton where they just like give you the menu and they come back later and they ask you to order. And if you're not ready, they're like, oh, okay, I'll come back. It's not like that. It's like they stand there with you and advise you on the food and talk to you as you order it and make sure that you get what is just right for you.
I mean, that's handy because it seems like the menus at like authentic Chinese restaurants are also huge. Like they got 1 million dishes they can make.
Yeah, they got a lot.
Yeah. Like I remember going to like dim sum places, specifically, and tons and tons and tons of options, and it's intimidating because it's like I don't know what to order. Luckily, we were with people that knew the menu or knew the food, and so then they could help us as well, I guess. And maybe that's why the servers didn't really help us in those environments, because we already had someone that like knew the food, and then they were just like, try this, it'll be good. And I was like, great. But if I was on my own, yeah, I would have to definitely ask for help. Is there good Chinese food in Edmonton? I mean, you know what the authentic stuff is now. Did going to China ruin it for you, or can you still find it internationally?
No, I can still find it internationally. And even my wife, she likes food in Edmonton too. And she's also gotten used to the Canadian style Chinese food as well. So we will eat like Chinese style Chinese food, and we'll also eat the Canadian style Chinese food.
What's the difference?
So the Canadian style uses, like, there are various breaded products. Say something like lemon chicken. It has a bread on the outside. Now maybe that's Chinese style too. I don't know, but it's like, I consider it to be a Canadian one, and I never saw something like that, just like that in Nanjing.
Okay. Anything with bread? Like, what about the deep fried things with bread? Do they do that
Yeah,
in
no,
China?
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's like
Oh,
kind
okay.
of like breaded on the outside and then fried. That's something you see a lot in the Canadian style Chinese food. Like an example of a good, well, I guess it's American style, but there's this place called PF Chang's. Do you know it?
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
And that they do all the Chinese food like in a style that I would say is American or Canadian. Like, they serve you individual dishes, for example. There's less bones in it. Like in Chinese food, there's often going to be bones or other things that you have to chew around. And us Westerners, we're used to that when we're talking about like chicken wings, right? But we're not used to that when we're talking about like chicken feet or like the other chunks of a chicken that have bones in it. You have to eat around it carefully.
That was a big thing that I noticed when I was in Colombia for those months, is that they leave the bone in a lot of the meat that they eat, especially chicken. And like you said, we're used to it in certain environments, right? A drumstick or a chicken wing or whatever. But they would have it like a piece of chicken in a bowl of soup, and it would have the bone in it. And like, we would never do that in Canada, right? Like, if you're eating soup, you're not looking for bones, you're just eating soup. And there were lots of examples like that where I was like, oh, this is different, very different. I think another difference is that in Canada, because we don't like bones, we use more like chicken breast, for example, different cuts of meat, where in Colombia, the bone-in is more desirable. My fiance said that it's also more affordable for the average person too. It's cheaper to do it that way. And some people say that it has more flavor if you leave the bone in, right? And so I think in some ways, maybe we're a bit of an anomaly in Canada that we don't like having bones in our food.
Yeah.
Something that I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, is that like in Canada, a big quote unquote Chinese dish is ginger beef, right? Like, we love ginger beef. And I heard that that's actually originally from Alberta. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Okay.
because I think even in the States, if you say ginger beef, people might not know it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that in China.
Yeah, and that's it feels like a staple here of like Canadian Chinese, I suppose.
Another thing about the food that we get in Canada, the Chinese food, a lot of it is from Guangdong province. It's Cantonese. So it's kind of like that was the main route for the Chinese food in Canada, is coming from Canton first and then getting Canadianized.
Okay.
And like, sometimes I like the Cantonese food that we get here in Canada a lot. Like, I like to go to a place called Jumbo Dim Sum in Edmonton, and it's Cantonese style. And there's some things I'm just used to, like they have the red vinegar that I like, right? Whereas we got Cantonese food in Nanjing, and they like made it more into their style. So they didn't have the red vinegar, little things like that. They had the black vinegar from Yangzhou, which is also a really famous kind of vinegar that lots of people love. But I just felt like I like the red vinegar that I'm used to having with Cantonese food.